Okay, it says I'm connected. You know, one of the main things is consistency. You got to consistently study this information, and here it is on Thursday, and I was trying to go live in the Facebook group because I thought that'd be a good idea, right? And turns out it doesn't have the permissions, and I'm supposed to be a tech guy, right? So I'll have to figure that out. And but getting closer and closer to my going live every Thursday. Now I have on Thursday from noon to 1 p.m. I do share and facilitate lesson one of thinking into results, which is setting your worthy goal rather. So it's really cool. And I found as I'm going through this program the second time, I'm on lesson 7. Am I on lesson 7? Let's see, keep it on my iPad here. See, I keep little notes. And I am on lesson 7. And lesson 7 is all about breaking through the terror barriers. So it's called a terror barrier. And what that means is that you pick something, you have a dream, right? You say, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to help people develop their superpowers. Okay, so I'm going to try to point this thing in the middle, so I'm looking at the camera like that. So you have an idea. You say, I'm gonna show people how to develop their superpowers, and to my surprise, I found out that I have to develop my own superpowers as well. And it's really a matter of studying this information. So the second time through, I'm on lesson 7, and I found out. I go back to my notes. When I went through this thing, lesson 7, I mean lessons 1 through 5, I keep track of as I go through this second time around, right? I keep track to see, well, just how many days in a row do I actually make it to my study, right? Because you got to be honest with yourself, right? If you don't put in the work and you don't spend the time, like knowing this information won't do anything for you. You've actually got to reprogram your subconscious mind. So you got to get it at a subconscious level, whatever you're creating. And in order to do that, you really got to believe it. you know? And so we all have these paradigms that hold us back and have us believe things that aren't really true about ourselves. So you really have to kind of take a leap of faith. And I've got this book. It's called USquared. There you can see it, USquared. And it's a bunch of little stories, and I'm going to read one that kind of is relevant to what I'm talking about. It's called "Rely on the Unseen Forces." Okay, so and I'm going to read this here. So improving your performance by an order of magnitude, USquared, can sound unrealistic if you think of it as something you have to do all by yourself, but you don't. Forget the idea that you should be able to see tangibly and in full view all the resources necessary to leverage your performance so dramatically. There are resources you can access that cannot be seen, and they are far greater and far more powerful than the resources you might readily observe. Absence of evidence is not evidence of their absence. Think of an iceberg, where you see only the tip of what's really there, just as real, though out of sight, are invisible resources ready to make a profound difference in what you can achieve. All you have to do is open up and let them in. Quantum leaps are merely the process of using yourself and your world differently, thus allowing other possibilities that exist to actually materialize. Your willingness to make a quantum leap is the enabler. So once you're willing, see, we've all got, we're made in God's image. Okay, so we are God actually, in a way, each of us is a little God running through life, and we're creating our destiny. And we create that by our thoughts. And as we put those thoughts into our subconscious mind and begin to believe them, things start to happen. And those are the invisible forces I'm talking about. So you do not achieve your dreams, your full potential, through your own singular struggle. As mentioned earlier, neither raw effort nor sheer willpower is the answer. Trying as hard as you can will fall far short of taking you as far as you are capable of going. You must take advantage of the support systems you can't see. In a sense, making the quantum leap is like playing bridge. I don't know how many people play bridge. I don't play bridge, but I'm a little bit familiar with it. It says you don't bid your hand alone. Your bidding is also based on the power of your partner's cards. You don't really get to see those cards until it's time to play them, but you trust that they will bring valuable strength to your own hand. The unseen forces are phantom powers that cannot be fully explained. Maybe they strike you as rather mystical phenomena, but the truth is they will make amazing contributions to your efforts. These unseen forces seem to operate through your subconscious mind, mental imagery, intuition, and luck. You might be hit with a flash of inspiration during a moment of solitude. A creative solution to a problem may come to you in a dream. A breakthrough idea can flash through your mind while you're visualizing your goal. Somehow, the resources you need just seem to appear by coincidence. Paint a vivid picture in your mind for these forces to know precisely what you want. In one way or another, the unseen forces will dazzle you with their impact. Count on it. Quantum leaps come easy when you plug into this remarkable power source. You don't have to understand it totally in order to use it. Just as you don't have to comprehend the intricate physics of energy to flip a lamp switch and flood the room with light. When you focus constantly on a clear picture of what you want to accomplish and move toward it confidently, the unseen forces will rally to your support. These unknowns, these invisible resources are the most powerful factors available to assist you in making the quantum leap to your USquared. You see that? So this is just one of the little books I read, and I kind of keep putting things in my thought counter to what I've always believed. So although now it's the rubber's beginning to hit the road for me, since I started this group almost a year ago, right? It's been almost a year, and you guys that join this group, you may or you may not have studied some of the information in the guides, such as You Were Born Rich or the Key System. Those are the things I've done. But the key to all this is you just got to stick with it, okay? Because what happens, like I mentioned earlier, when you create some kind of an idea in your mind about how you want the future to go, it's not going to affect you. You're not going to have any discomfort at all until you begin to start believing it. Then you're challenged to do what it takes, and you will do what it takes to make whatever it is that you've dreamed up possible. And not just possible, but probable, and not just probable, but exactly, like it will happen. The things that you're actually a creator. So for example, sometime back, I don't even remember when, okay, but sometime in the past year, I had written down some, the goal cards I had mentioned before. I pulled one out of my pocket here. I got 2 goal cards, and one's a personal goal and one's a financial goal. And you don't necessarily have to share these goals with anybody. In fact, if you do, I think that's kind of a mistake in some ways. I mean, you want to realize what you're trying to create, but at the same time, you tell someone some of your crazy ideas, and they kind of scoff at you, and that can affect your self-image a little bit until you get a little proof. Okay, so I've had a little bit of proof that what I've written on the card and what I've planted into my subconscious mind, it really does happen. So this music studio that I'm sitting in is proof of that. I had written down some point somewhere in the last year. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a music studio where I can play music 24/7. Okay, well, it came true. I mean, I opened up to the universe, and then it showed up. So each of you people that are in this group, whether you're studying this information or not, you had some kind of an interest. Maybe it was to support me if you know me, and maybe it was just to because you're curious and you want to develop your superpowers. And I'll tell you where you should start. Okay, where I started I started with lesson 1. Now, I'm not trying to say that the program is the be all end all. okay? Because there's a lot of other things that come along as you begin to study this information. And actually, when you study lesson one, if you study lesson one, which is free and it's in the guide section, and you do that every day for 14 days and then do the exercises, you're going to become crystal clear on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what it is that you're creating. Okay. And you're going to hit, like I said, you're going to hit the terror barrier, because it seems at first, it seems like, well, I can't do that. And then little by little, you begin to believe it. And then pretty soon it comes into being. So part of my, without sounding too crazy, all of you people in this group have come upon me and have joined my group for one reason or other. And I think it's fate. Personally, I think you created me as much as I've created you. So I want to coach you. I want to have you get what you want. And the first step to doing that is to go through lesson one and figure out what you want. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to come on. I obviously wasn't able to get this thing to go live on Facebook. I'll have to work that out. But what I do plan to do is for the next, forever, for the rest of my life. Sounds so dramatic, doesn't it? And for the rest of my life, I'll come on here every week on Thursday at noon and share something with you, share some information, some insights. And since I will be live, you'll be able to have some, we can talk, you can chat with me. And look, I'm no different than anybody else. You know, the only difference is that I'm studying this information. And as you study this information, you begin to realize that it's something incredible, and it's something that's really real, and we really are that powerful to create our own reality and create our own future. You can design it. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do, and you're coming along with me. So I appreciate that, and I hope you get everything you want, and you will if you study this information every day. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna sign off and save this recording. Thanks for watching.